President Muhammadu Buhari appoints a new commander to head Boko Haram fight. House of Representatives panel blames Libyan slavery on lack of interagency collaboration. On the foreign scene, UN chief urges caution as Trump recognizes Jerusalem as Israeli capital. In sports, Nigeria ranks 20th most expensive squad at 2018 World Cup. Details in a moment. Please do stay with us. And now the news. President Muhammadu Buhari has replaced the officer leading troops fighting Boko Haram. Army spokesman Brigadier General Sani Usman, in a statement today, said this follows a recent surge in deadly attacks in the country's remote northeast. The new commander for Operation Lafia Dole is Major General Rogers Ibe Nicholas. Nicholas takes over from Major General Ibrahim Atahiru. No reason was given for the change, but in recent weeks there has been an upsurge in Boko Haram attacks that have cast further doubt on government and military claims that the insurgents have been crushed. The House of Representatives says lack of interagency collaboration is largely responsible for the migration of Nigerians abroad through illegal routes. According to the lawmakers, the spate of illegal migration through the desert eventually encouraged the slavery incidents recently uncovered in Libya. At a meeting between committees on foreign affairs and human rights, as well as other stakeholders, the lawmakers said the situation in Libya has made it imperative to find ways of addressing the situation. The joint committee was mandated by the House to unravel circumstances that led to the death of 26 Nigerian girls at the Mediterranean Sea. Chairman of the joint committee, Nana Elendu Ukeje, described as despicable the role of some Nigerians who are living in Libya, as they were found guilty of being actively involved in selling off their kinsmen. And as the world mark the International Civil Aviation Day, some Nigerians have emphasized the need for the country to have its national carrier to enhance the nation's reputation and minimize costs. The aim of the day is to generate and reinforce worldwide awareness on the importance of international civil aviation to the social and economic development of the state.
Nigeria is in the eyes of the world, and anything we can do to launder our image will help. With a national carrier, it will go a long way to launder our image. And then talking about the economic value too, it is going to bring more money into our purse. And the high cost of traveling outside the country is not brought down to not having a national carrier. We're looking at affordability. Most people believe Nigerians have capacity. If you look at our Naira, compared to the dollar, it has really dropped. Any amount of dollar you bring in here and convert to Naira, it becomes a big money. So even if they charge you $1,000 for traveling, by the time you convert that to Naira, it's your 1 year salary. So that's why we look at it as expensive.
If you look at the cost of travel, especially by air, it's very expensive. And that is because we don't have our own national carrier. If you look at BA, for instance, the amount of money you book a flight to UK from Nigeria is different from the same flight you book while you're in UK. And then the impression is that Nigerians can afford. So if Nigerians can afford, why don't we have our own national carrier? It will save us a lot of foreign exchange. And then it will build our image. And then the issue of travel costs will be reduced drastically. And then the Naira will appreciate.
There is no denying the fact that having a national carrier is going to boost the image of the nation. When you see countries like Kenya, Kenya is more popular than their resources because there is something that announces them everywhere.
We should operate a carrier, possibly on concession basis or partnership with private firms that can actually handle that, then possibly agree on sharing formulas on the revenues. But operationally, government should hands up.
In a situation whereby we don't have a national carrier for over 2 decades now, it's really not helping the aviation industry in our country, because you can see the influx of foreign airlines within the country without we having, and they are making a lot of money on Nigerians.
The deplorable state of roads in Nigeria is becoming a major source of worry to many citizens, as this can affect their right to life. Some have described the roads as death traps as a result of its conditions. This is why Nigerians are saying members of the National Assembly should use the opportunity presented by the 2018 appropriation bill to allocate enough funds for road construction and rehabilitation.
Our roads are so bad, most especially when it's raining. Between Ishua Koko to Okene, you see a lot of hold-ups on the road. It's so what? People are having accidents, a lot of evil things are happening on the road. Please, you need to communicate to government, let them know. People are crying, people are complaining.
The road is too poor. We need government to look into it.
We have heard a lot that some roads are captured in the 2017 budget. We have not seen such roads taking off, and day by day, the condition of our roads is dilapidating. Particularly now, the Kaduna-Abuja road was rehabilitated with over R1 billion just for the temporary closure of the airport in Abuja and relocated to Kaduna. Now the road is in a worse condition than it was before rehabilitation.
We need government to intervene. If they can at least set aside some money, maybe against next year, so that at least some of these roads that are bad, they can put them in place.
When budget or a project is proposed in a budget, there should be timely release of funds for the project and as at when due.
People living around the old Secretariat, Area 1 axis of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, are still crying out over the smell occasioned by refuse dump in the area. They said the stench in the area is sickening and needs immediate attention from authorities concerned in order to avert any outbreak of disease.
This gutter, they smell well. And those people, they thought say they pack gutter here. We don't see any of them. And the smell, they affect our own markets. Now food we they sell. So we don't see customer. Some customers said they'll just pass us, go front. Because of this our gutter, may government help us.
The government should do something in the area of the parking to avoid the smell. People also should avoid putting things anyhow or parking dirt into the gutter.
Those sanitation where they park every morning they're supposed to park them. They are not doing their job well. And you know, say we are selling, it's not hygienic at all. So every morning when I come, before I shed my market, I'll park the gutter to avoid the smell.
Keeping the environment clean is not just the job of the government or whoever is appointed to do that. We as citizens have our own duty to keep the environment clean. Because if the government comes and does everything and leaves, we are the ones that go back and make it dirty until the next time the government comes around again to do it. It's our duty to first make it clean, make the government's job easier by putting everything in a safe place and making sure that the order and everything is taken care of. Then the government comes and evacuates. It makes the government's job easier. It makes the tax burden on us as citizens also easier.
The government has the responsibility to put serious measures so that they can control the place and sanitize the place. Even myself, I stayed in 2-3 days here. I couldn't stay there because of this problem of disorders.
Before then they pack up, every day they pack up, but now they know they pack up again.
Meanwhile, Director of Information and Outreach Program of the AEPB, Mukhtar Ibrahim, told our correspondent that those residents in the area are illegal occupants.
That area of the old secretariat is largely unplanned, and the people that stay around that very area are not regulated. I can say that they are illegal occupants of that area, and they engage in all sorts of indiscriminate kind of waste disposal. But the federal secretariat, which is located there, has a responsibility to actually check those who stay around their vicinity. Be it as may, we are going to ask the relevant department to investigate, and after that is done, we will see what remediation action can be taken.
There, we'll take a short break, but we'll be right back. Stay with us.
This is Human Rights Radio 101.1, redefining broadcasting.
Welcome back. And on the foreign scene, United Nations UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has stressed that there was no alternative to the two-state solution to the lingering conflict between Israel and Palestinians. Guterres made the remarks in the wake of the announcement by the U.S. President Donald Trump recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. The UN chief stressed that Jerusalem was an issue that must be resolved through direct negotiations between both parties. Guterres stressed the need to realize the vision of two states living side by side in peace, security, and mutual recognition, with Jerusalem as the capital of Israel and Palestine, and all final status issues resolved permanently through negotiations. According to him, it is only through that realization that the legitimate aspirations of both people would be achieved. Trump had, while announcing his recognition of Jerusalem as Israeli capital, said his decision marked the beginning of a new approach to conflict between Israel and the Palestinians. In sports, the Super Eagles are the 20th most expensive team that will participate in the 2018 World Cup in Russia, according to transfer market experts. Nigeria, who has a squad size of 23, are valued at £80.78 million, approximately 38.45 billion naira. Brazil currently have the most expensive squad, followed by Germany, France, Spain and Argentina. The expert said the Super Eagles would have ranked higher than 20th, but Nigeria's most valuable player, Chelsea's Victor Moses, was omitted from the players rated because he missed the games against Argentina and Algeria. And that's the news this hour, but we'd like to remind you that President Muhammadu Buhari has appointed new commander to head Boko Haram fight. House of Representatives panel blames Libyan slavery on lack of interagency collaboration. On the foreign scene, UN chief urges caution as Trump recognizes Jerusalem as Israeli capital. In sports, Nigeria ranks 20th most expensive squad at 2018 World Cup. That's the news, but you can continue to follow us on our social media handle. Facebook is Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. You can also tweet at us at H Rights Radio. Thank you for listening. My name is Oikeke Igado Kure.
Classic evening of sports. When you hear that sound, you know exactly what it means. Welcome to Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, redefining broadcasting. And this is The Stadium, the only sports program that covers every sport on the surface of the earth. We don't only talk and report football. We cover every other sport as it should be, including Dambe, which I used to go to